So morning all. We are out with RB, and this morning I got Phil with me, the boss of Eclipse Motorcycles, Eclipse Autos, and we're taking a couple of bikes, different bikes, up to the Super Sausage Cafe. And for those of you that normally watch my feed from the Super Sausage, I normally go up there on the Ninja. Today I am on a Yamaha R1. So if you've seen the video of the silver R1, I am on that. Phil is riding the Street Triple 675 in the green, and we're going to just take these up to Super Sausage and just show them off a little bit. And what better place to advertise a couple of bikes than at a bike meet. Thank you very much, Mr. Car Driver. And obviously Phil is as an experienced rider as I am, if not a bit more. And if you saw that, the brake light came on before the guy even moved out the junction. He does watch them shoulders. He shoulder checks as badly as I do. He's shoulder checking everywhere. So it just shows you the experience of riders. And Phil's as good as what I am. He just tends to shoulder check absolutely everywhere, watching sides of junctions. And we're going to be at a nice, steady, if not spirited place this morning, spirited speed this morning. But obviously these two bikes are up for sale, so if you are interested, keep watching the feed. We're going to go off, we're going to do some stuff at Super Sausage, go and chat with the other bikers. Now Phil is not a sports bike rider, so when we said we're going to take these two, it's like, you can have the R1. Phil does not like leaning over a tank. He is a cruiser rider. He has a Rocket 3, the original version, and he's got the more upright bike this morning. So it's a nice steady national speed of 70, maybe a little bit of clock glare involved every now and then, but to obviously just tell you a bit about them. So the Street Triple that we have there, and I'm going to pull up alongside it. And there we go. So it is a 64 plate, and it is in that lovely green colour. Just get an eyeful of that green, and as you can see from the riding position, very, very upright. I'm going to burst ahead, and obviously this R1 has a lot more power. So there's a lot more power, you're a lot more lower down on the bike, and obviously the mirror placement on these, absolutely perfect. I've got a clear view of Phil in my mirrors here, so obviously I've got about a quarter of my shoulder in that mirror, but it is a typical sports bike. Now I'm in the upright position at this at the moment, and we've got that nice double bubble effect to the front of the bike. But what you can do with these R1s is do this, and obviously hook yourself back into the seat, toes on the pegs, and you can get yourself down, so you're taking that wind force away from the front of your face. So it's a very, very low down, and I can get right down on the tank on that bubble. Now obviously, if you are doing that for a while, you'll find that you will end up with backache, wrist ache, knee ache. It is a very, very full-on, in-your-face sports bike. And the rev range on this, it doesn't take you long once you've got the speed up to go with all that dial there. So you've got a whacking great big rev counter there. You've got that nice digital display telling you how fast you're going. And it's got the normal setup on the handlebars, so you've got the high beam indicators, horn to the bottom. On the right hand side, your standard kill button, lights full on, start button, and then you've got loads of resets, selects, trip meters on this, everything for this R1. So it is a very, very good bike. So we're going to get Phil past me, and we're going to get some video, and just look at that thing go. So that is the Street Triple. Now I'm going to tuck in behind it, obviously just open it up a little bit, tuck myself in behind. That Street Triple is running Michelin 2CTs, very, very sticky compound tyre and lovely soft edges, and I absolutely love, if you know what my bikes have, I have Michelin 2CTs on all my bikes. I've got Pilot Free 2CTs on my Ninja, and on my ZSX-R I've got Power 5s. Now obviously Power 5s are probably the best tyre that you're going to get. I absolutely love them. Some people like Bridgestone's, Metzler's, and this R1 has Pirelli Diablo coursers on, and to say that I used the chicken strips the other day when I took it out for a spirited test ride, I did manage to get the edge of the tyres absolutely hot, and I did melt them slightly, but not as bad as you thought, because that's what these bikes are designed for. And obviously people that buy an R1 look at the chicken strips and go, oh, there's a little bit of wear on those chicken strips. Yes, they corner absolutely perfect, so it's got the normal wear on the chicken strips, rather than just someone, you can normally tell when someone's bought themselves a sports bike and the centre tread is the only bit that's burnt up. The chicken strips are brand new, they've obviously not been leaning it around, they've just been riding it to show off. These bikes are designed to be pushed into corners, taken nice and low, show you how good they ride. And hopefully with the Super Sausage roundabout coming up just down here, we are going to get a nice bit of cornering. And I went to charge my GoPros up last night, my little cheap action cameras, and the batteries have both gone in both of them, so I've got to order some more. Someone said to me, why don't you just get some GoPro 4s? So I think I might have to invest about £500 in a couple of GoPros just to put on the bike, because them action cams have lasted me less than 6 months. The batteries are absolutely useless. So if you are buying a cheap action cam for about a tenner, it's going to last you 6 months. It's not going to last you any longer unless you buy an extra battery for it, and the batteries don't last for tosh either. So I always say, if you're going to spend money out, buy the best. And I have already, I've got an Insta360, but I am still getting the grips with how to use it at the moment, having a fiddle around with it, trying it all out. And that will be coming soon. We'll get the Insta360 on the camera. Now you may notice our riding position, Phil would tend to, bit of clock blurring coming up, I think. So he's giving it a bit of a spirited ride up there, and I might have to blur the clocks a little bit here. He's obviously just testing out what it's like on high speeds, but we normally sit about 60, 70, and he's back down again. Should quick at that, 2 shoulder checks, he's checking for me, I'm out as well, around the lorry. And a shoulder check to bring myself back in. Now we tend to stagger ourselves, so we leave a nice space cushion between each other, just in the event that Phil does have to emergency brake for any reason or a car stops, and we ride a staggered formation. So as soon as he moves to position 3, I will move back and take position 1. So we always leave ourselves in a staggered formation, and that is what you should be doing if you are riding in a pack. So back to position 1, just so that if I do have any run out, I am off to the side of him rather than up the back of him. So he's occupying the lane there. We're on a green light as well, and we're just going to show you what these bikes corner like. And as I said, Phil is a sports bike cruiser rider, and he is pushing that into the corners, and obviously I haven't got enough road speed on to get this over, so we will do that another time. We'll probably do that on the run back. But once again, staggered formations, sitting off to the side of him. And you do get those that like to filter down the outside. They're quite welcome to do that. Me and Phil are having a nice sedated ride at the moment. It was a little bit spirited in the last couple of minutes. But the power on this R1, as soon as you dial it up, on it comes. And you've got that instant burst of speed should you need it. And the one thing I do love about these R1s, as soon as you put any power on, burble out engine and the whine, typical R1 sound. You can spot one of these coming for absolutely miles by the burble and the whine. So we're almost at Super Sausage. We're going to pull in, we're going to have a quick shot of the car park, we're going to have a quick look at the 2 bikes, and then me and Phil are going to go and have our obligatory bacon and sausage roll. And yes, I've got seat room under this for the missus, so the missus can have a bacon and sausage roll. I've got to swap to the car when I get back to the garage, so hopefully it will stay a little bit warm. If not, there's a thing called a microwave at home where I can just give her a little bit of heat into that bacon roll. But we'll have a quick look at the two bikes. We'll see who's down there. Phil's going to go and grab his cup of tea and his bacon roll. I shall have my bacon roll cup of coffee, and of course, bad habit, the obligatory cigarette. Can't beat having a cigarette after you've had a spirited, adrenaline-filled ride. And obviously taking our time through there, because this is where PC Plod tends to sit, waiting for all the bikers to come in. I'm going to nab you before you go for breakfast. No, you're not, PC Plod. We all know that you're down here. It normally goes up on the Facebook pages. Plod's doing the camera at so-and-so. Plod's going here. Plod's going there. Most bikers tend to ride within their limits. You do get the odd one or two that do a little bit over. But most of us are good boys. We tend to obey the nationals unless we're on a nice dual carriageway, nothing in front of us, nothing behind us. But both of these bikes are riding absolutely beautiful this morning. Can't fault them. I am loving this R1. Just the immense amount of power that this thing has. And I think Phil is enjoying that street triple. He's not been sat upright for absolutely ages. And with me sat over his shoulder as well, I'm watching the mirrors. Yes, Phil. Phil's constantly, see his head moving up there, he's constantly shoulder checking his mirrors, and it just shows the pair of us experienced bike riders, we know what we're doing. But if you are a younger rider, watch our ride, see how many times we shoulder check, watch for sides of cars like that. Are they coming in, are they going out, watching the road ahead. That is what you should be doing all the time. So shoulder checks, mirror checks constantly. Don't just be target fixated on what is in front of you. And it is absolutely rammed already this morning. Morning, boys.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing? You alright? It's good to see it's busy down here this morning. So we just got to find a parking place now. And obviously it's just gone 9 o'clock. It is absolutely rammed down here this morning. So it's just gone 9 o'clock. Just have a look around. Just see how busy that is. That is absolutely rammed in here. You cannot move. And it's only just gone 9 o'clock. My normal space down by the garage has gone already. Boys are here. I've got our friend down there. He's got his Suzuki in again. Got a nice VMAX just sitting there. Got a couple of the Yamahas and the KTs down there. But just looking around, it is absolutely rammed. So myself and Phil are off for a bacon roll and a cup of tea, and of course I'm going to have the obligatory cigarette. And from RB and Phil, we shall catch up with you on the run back to home, and we'll see you all after a little intermission.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Oh, a little bit of a blast there. Heading back from Super Sausage and getting the obligatory run in, and the queue was so bloody massive I couldn't get to the tea up. So sorry Mrs B, you didn't get a bacon roll this morning. It means I've got to go to Mackey's and get her a wrap on the way back. So Phil is behind me. I've got the lead for a change. And we did ask if we wanted to swap bikes. I'll stick with the R1, thank you. I'm more used to this puppy. Just taking my time on her. And it was very, very busy there. So one of our customers, Jenny, and she was down. Came down on her bike. Our friends Archie there, Martin was there, and Barry. down on his new bike. Good to see you, Barry. And loads of people like, I'll be, yeah, I'll be here. I must have bought about 14 cups of tea for everybody today. But we had a little bit of fun. We had a nice long chin wag about bikes and bits and pieces. And we're obviously on the way back. Phil's off to have his afternoon. I am off to spend the afternoon at home with Mrs. B, mow the lawn, and I'm going to chill out for the afternoon and possibly go and sit in the hot tub with a beer and enjoy a little bit of music. Taking our time. Roads are incredibly busy today. It seems like lockdown has never existed. Everybody wants to get out on the roads, and I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to be hacking around like an absolute lunatic. I'm going to get these tyres up the temp first, get a bit of weave on the tyres, warm the edges up, because the roundabout is coming up and I want to see what she does. I just want to obviously show you what these Pirelli Diablo Supercorsas do. And obviously Phil, I said earlier, he's on the Michelin 2CTs, and he did say to me, Christ, the bike done half lean. Yes, it's a more of an upright sports bike, that one, but yeah, it leans a little bit more than you would on a cruiser. Obviously with this R1 we did hand out quite a few leaflets obviously advertising these bikes, and I am going to filter into the outside lane. Means I can get a bit more lean coming out of that corner. I'm just waiting for the lights to change, and I've got Phil behind me on his. He's on the 675 Street Triple in green. And these lights take forever and a day. And obviously we're down at Sausage, we're chatting all about bikes and just different bits and pieces. And if you haven't been to Super Sausage, based up in Pottersbury with the Northampton postcode, just get on Google and put in the Super Sausage Cafe. Right, let's see what she does. She moves. Very, very nice. I'm back to 70 mile an hour. So just taking my time with the cars. Shoulder checking in. But as you saw of those tyres, it quarters like it's on rails. And obviously we're going to sit at a nice steady speed today because PC plod is about. I'm going to tuck myself in, get a bit of wind resistance off, that is better. And with these R1s you can get yourself right over the tank, absolutely love it. I don't know what these belly ends are doing in front of me, but I'm going to switch to the outside lane. And just within my limits. Taking it nice and steady. Obviously on an R1 I could open it up a little bit if I wanted, but I'm going to take my time, just clear the traffic and then come back in and let Phil catch me up again. And mate, your boy in the car behind can wait. If you want to go speeding, you go speeding, mate, but I'm sticking within my ride test limits. I am not on my bike, I am on a sail bike. There we go. You go flying past at 80, 90, whatever you want to do, mate. I'm quite happy at 70 mile an hour. and occupying position 3. Phil's off to the near side, and I've got him in the mirror there. You can just see him down there. So, finishing off, and we're in the last couple of miles till we get back to the garage. If you are into a used bike, we got about 21 in at the moment. Plus, of course, we're expecting all the Lexmotos to come in. And the website is down the bottom right hand side. That's Eclipse Motorcycles MK.co.uk. Telephone number is down there, 01908 643 603. Give a team a call if you're interested in the R1 or the Speed Street Triple. That's a bit close to cut in, Jesus H. Christ. And it don't take long just to put a bit of power on just to get past the car. It's what I do like about power delivery on a big CC bike. It's the same with my ZZR. It's like instant flip of the throttle. Just gets you past the car, gets you back in. But with the big bikes, I tend to occupy B position 1 or 3, depending if I'm in staggered formation. If I'm on my own, I tend to ride down here, position 3. And then if you happen to look down the centre of the road here, you'll see all the track marks of all the rubbish that's not picked up by car tyres, which is why we tend to ride out here. So obviously switching between 1s and 3s, depending on your road conditions, what road you're on. But I'm sitting at a nice steady 70, which is what we'd normally do. Making our way back to the garage, and Phil's covering my back. He has moved out. Clear my shoulder check, moving back in. And we're going to get one final look at this Triumph in a minute. I'm going to let him come down the outside of me, just so you can get the final look at that street triple coming past. And it does look absolutely stunning in the green. So here she comes. So just coming in over my shoulder, that is the Street Triple 675, and I'm going to tuck in behind. Absolutely gorgeous looking bike from the front and the back. So it's been an interesting morning. I've run out to the Super Sausage on 2 of our sales bikes, and we were discussing we might be doing this on a regular basis, so you might get to see me actually going out the Super Sausage on a different bike rather than my own now. Obviously I'll try and get mine out this week and have a run on her. And just checking my junctions like I normally do. So once again, if you are into used motorcycle, as I say, we'll put the website link up one more time, clipsmotorcyclesmk.co.uk. Telephone number down there, 01908 643 603, if you're into a used bike. Easiest way to find everything is off my page, which is revbob.co.uk. Check that page out. Go to the 4th page, social media. There's a link there to my YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and there's also the links to the garage, the links to my bike carrier Andy. You can go and check all of those out. And we've come in at Caldecott's, which means It's bridge time, and coming in on those brakes, absolutely lovely. Hooking it over into the roundabout, nicely warmed up rubber, hooking it in under the bridge like we normally do. Rev bomb. If you enjoyed the video, guys, comments down below what you think of the R1, what you think of that street triple. As always, if you liked it, thumbs up. If you don't, 2 thumbs down. And of course, for the next video up, don't forget to hit the notifications bell. From myself and Phil, the guys at Eclipse and Rev Bomb, have a super weekend, guys. Be well, ride safe, and as always, it's a big goodbye from me.